Hi guys, it's me, Kat, MrsHandyRU. I hope everybody's doing really well tonight or today. I watched Jay Leno a little bit ago and Jay Leno's Garage on YouTube. And it was from near Thanksgiving. I know I'm going back in time here, but it's still important. So Jay Leno's Garage, he had a title and it was called, of the video, 112-year-old race car, 1911 E.M.F, like electromagnetic frequency, model 30. Okay, so that was the title. 112-year-old race car, 1911 E.M.F, model 30. And then Jay starts out and he's like, way out. Like, this is way out there, you know? Okay, so I was just saying on the last video about if somebody set off a nuclear, which would be fake, a nuclear weapon over us or over another country, that it would cause an E.M.P, an electromagnetic pulse, which is like the same as saying electromagnetic frequency, you know. And way out, right? It would be way out there, supposedly, because it would be way high over in the atmosphere, affecting a large area. So at 45 seconds, now if you never heard of EMF, you're probably not alone. Like not alone, like the aliens we keep hearing about in Florida. You've been hearing that, right? Do you see all those videos? Then please watch Mr. MBB 333. So it's 2 B's, 3 3s. And that's a Diana. He is Diana, as far as I'm concerned. Giving comms constantly. And he comes on a live stream so you can talk, which is kind of fun. So put alerts on for that channel. And people send in videos of strange sightings in the sky or on the ground or under the water. Lately they've had some under the water. Looks like a ship. And oh, anyway, so I'll get back to Jay Leno. So you're probably not alone, he says. Let's see. He brought up 3 men, and he said the 3 men were Everett, Metzger, and Flanders, which is how they came up with EMF. They developed this race car that he had on the show. And he said they took a lot of heat. EMFs were every mechanic's friend. In other words, they needed a lot of help from mechanics. Model 30 set up. It's like we're being set up. The man who owns this race car usually has a guest on, right? There's Daniel CRITZ. I can't even say it right. CRITZ, like Christ, only you're saying it kind of backwards, like CRITZ, you know, like with the S sound at the end. And it's not just Daniel CRITZ, it's Daniel CRITZ Jr., okay? And it looked like he was wearing a mask to me, this guy. Let's see. This one, you can trace back all the way to the factory, like going back to the Garden of Eden, maybe, and brought back to race, like maybe the presidential race. And there was a photo of this race car, and on the race car was the number 35. So likely they're talking about President Kennedy coming back. See, and then so then that was a photo that had the 35, like the old photo, but the one in the studio at his garage, I mean, there was a 33 on that one, you know, the circle with 33, and the 33 is the Masons, of course, and CRITZ, it's so hard to say that name without cracking up. CRITZ said 230 cubic inches to be in the light car class. So 23 is W and 32 is Eve. So he did 230, dropped the 0. Jay said people were getting killed in the other class, like the cabal class types, gonzo, like just gone. Yeah, in the other class. So first they were going after us, right? Now I think it all went, the other way, and they were the ones getting wiped out by our guys, our good guys. Jay said they just couldn't stop. They'd get over 70, 80 miles an hour. Well, 78 is Kennedy. And Jay says the Savannah, Georgia race, this was so smaller cars would have a chance to compete without those big monsters. Now, he could be referring to literal big monsters, like the alien kind of idea, but it's also, to me, a reference so that regular people have a chance to compete in life without the evil guys around, big business people and all that. Like the meek shall inherit the earth, right? So at 350, which is like 35, right? Jay says, came in second in the first race. So the first time around, Christ messed up because it didn't follow through with being on the cross. I think he was on a cross, but I think everybody came to rescue him and get him down, or maybe more than one, right? Because I've said I don't know if there would, one of the ladies was up there on another one. I don't really know. I haven't figured that out at all. Okay. So came in second in the first race. Yes, that makes sense. Jay says, seems almost natural to have your finger, and then he corrects himself. Instead of saying finger, he corrects it to foot on the center throttle. And hands throttling the bad guys. That's what I get out of that. Because you're going to have your finger on the throttle is kind of what he said. And he says, usually you hit the side of the wall. They're talking about racing, but I think they're talking about the cabal getting after them. And let's see, Jay says, motometer, there's this little gauge, and it's to see if it's overheating. And you see the glass in the center, and to me that's like a dome reference, like there's above and below, because you said glass in the center, and you probably want it halfway through there, halfway through, the dome is halfway. I'm not sure. We drive this thing a lot, and wonder, Earth is almost like a spaceship, possibly, because we're supposed to be moving. I think there's magnetic movement going on, and we're in this dip in the large moon, the huge moon, super moon, or however you want to look at this huge planet that people call the moon, reflecting up in the dome. And we're in one of those little tiny craters, and we're kind of just spinning around and wobbling. And when he says we drive this thing a lot, I'm thinking we're kind of like a spaceship, like I said. And we're going to be moving over to that crater, Linne, with an accent there, just like Goj Flamaste talked about. Jay says, normally you have an exhaust cutout, but you pretty much have a hollow exhaust, hollow earth, right? And they both go, yes, yes, yes. And let's see. CRITZ says at 5:03, which is another 35 for President Kennedy, you want to be careful when you're getting in and out of it, like getting in and out of the limo, when you're running off, because it's going to look like you've been shot, but you're not, because that was a mannequin. Let's see. The riding mechanic would sit here, and while you're racing it, he'd keep the fuel pressure up, like keeping the pressure on. And then he says constant loss. CRITZ says that, and then Jay says total loss. And that to me, that's like the fake war comms, you know, like looks like we're gonna lose. And then Jay said, now in England, this is the, and to me that's like a Diana reference. Now in England, da 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 da, and I didn't write it all down. And then at 550, he says, CRITZ says, this is twine that's impregnated with oil. And I'll bet Daniel CRITZ Jr. could have been Diana, or could have been Jay was Diana, I'm not sure. But 55, because it was at 550, that equals, besides JFK JR, it also equals Lady Di, D-I. So, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm still hoarse. I have to write one thing down. Let's see. So, President Trump was at University of New Hampshire not long ago. I didn't go, but I have been to 3 rallies though. So anyway, I'm sorry I didn't go, but I just didn't go. And he was at the Whittemore Center, which is interesting because it's got the 2 T's and the 2 E's, really. I only want to bring up one thing from it, and he was talking about our governor, and there's been questions about whether the Governor Sununu of New Hampshire is the real one or not. And to me, he's not. He's definitely not here anymore. And we had the whole Sununu family was involved in the Republican side of the swampiness. The father, Sununu, the dad of this governor, he was the chief of staff for George H.W. Bush. And there was a whole article you could still find online, a great big article, not a little one. And it was about call boys, I think is how they worded it, in the White House, which would have been arranged by the chief of staff, Sununu. And there was a big scandal, but, you know, nothing much came of it afterwards. Because the press was in on everything, you know, back then. Now it's on our side. But he says, so President Trump at this rally said, I didn't like your governor, Sununu, very much, but I liked his father. Yeah, right. You know, keep your friends close, your enemies closer. The son is like a spoiled brat. He was beating him. He's talking about another person was running against Sununu. But when he said he was beating him, I think he means Sununu was being literally, you know, beaten. I was beating him, he said. Hurt himself so badly. He had no chance, meaning Sununu. I felt kind of guilty. Yeah, right. He didn't lift a damn finger. So anyway, I won't go into all that, but I just think that means our governor is gone, along with many, 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 many others all over, in all the states, everywhere. So anyway, so I just think I have to be done soon, you guys. I'm still hoarse. And a little note I have here. I was thinking about ideas for new holidays, you know, because all these holidays will have to be changed at some point. And I was wondering if you guys would mind writing down in the comments what you think would be a good holiday, you know. Holiday is supposed to mean holy day, really, but anyway, I was thinking about New Life Day, you know, like we're starting all over again, and everybody's going to have a new life after all this happens. So I was thinking like New Life Day. I don't know, that's kind of corny, but I liked it. And another one, because I think we're going to be having lots of healthy foods and things. How about Unusual Juice Day? I mean, they have a day for everything right now. Why not Unusual Juice Day? Like, everybody put juice in right and left, and everybody be growing their own stuff, and I think it'd be awesome. And I was thinking about I thought of this a long time ago, but like somebody wants to run a restaurant, and everybody's got like these dreams to cook, and they love to do things. But anyway, what if a restaurant could only like not had to be, but they could like be only open on one day a week, and then there would be a whole bunch of others, and they'd be open on a different day of the week, and on this one day there'd be a whole bunch open, but that's the day you go see this one restaurant. And like one, I was like, okay, one could be called Thursdays. I mean, you can't have more than one doing it, but anyway, I just think it'd be so cool because so many people could like live their dream. And it's just exciting to think about. I hope you guys think about cool stuff like that when all the chaos is going on. Stop and think about the good things. And it's very, very, it makes me happy. It just makes me happy. And anyway, I thought also, because we're at the end of this, I know it's a short video, but I wanted to show you what I'm in the process of in the house. See, you don't have to stay, you guys, if you don't want to. Anyway, the camera's floating around. Anyway, look at my ceiling. Look at my poor house. Can you see? I can't tell. I'm gonna flip you around so I can see what I'm looking at. No, I don't know what happened.